Hi, fifth graders. This is your math lesson for Tuesday, April the 14th. And we are in your book. So go ahead and get your book out and open it up to page 546 and pause me until you get there. Okay, now that you are on page 546, we are going to look at making line plots today. And let's look at how we're going to do that. This example on page 546 says the table shows the amount of water that 10 students use for a science experiment. So we've got this table. There's 10 different amounts here. It's in cups. Make a line plot to display the data. How many students use more than a half a cup? Well, the problem here is that there's eighths, there's fourths, and there's halves. So we need to get them all to where they are at an 8. All to the same denominator. So remember how you have learned to add fractions that have different denominators. You have to come up with common denominators. So if we have a 2, 4, and an 8, what would be the common denominator that they all go into? It would be an 8. They all go into 8. So remember how to do that. You have to multiply 4 by 2 to get 8. Therefore, you have to multiply 3 by 2. You have to multiply 2 times 4 to get 8. Therefore, you have to do the same thing to that numerator. And this one stayed because it was already an 8. So that was just a little review. We're doing the same thing here. We're turning everything into eighths so we can compare them evenly. All right, so these are eighths. Let me zoom it back in there for you. Okay, 3/4. We're going to turn that into 8. We had to multiply times 2. Multiply times 2 gets us a 6. 1/2, we're going to make that an 8. We multiply that times 4. We multiply this times 4. Already an 8. Okay, this is an 8. Multiply times 2. Multiply this times 2. 1/2 we've already done. Already there. And this one we've already done also. Okay, so now we're ready to put our data on our line plot. And basically that's what we were doing up there, so don't worry about that. I'm going to take all this information here and I'm going to put it on this line. So the first number is 7/8. So I'm going to come down to 7/8 and I'm going to put an X there. The next number is 5/8. Put an X there. 6/8. An X there. 4/8. An X. 5/8. Another X. 2/8. There's one down here now. Another 4/8. Another 5/8. A 6/8. And a 3/8. So we should have 10 X's here because there's 10 pieces of information. Let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, good. Now let's see how many students use more than a half a cup. Which one of these represents 1/2? That's right. 4/8 would reduce to 1/2. So more than a half are these guys. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them represent more than a half cup. All right, let's look at the next problem, the problem on the bottom of the page. This table shows the distance that your friend swims each day for 10 days. Let's make a line plot to display that. Again, this is going to be turning it into eighths. So times 4, times 4, times 2, times 2, times 4, times 4, times 2, times 2, times 2. I just want you to remember how to do this. And times 2. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing, but we need to set up our information here. What's the lowest number that we have? We have a 3/8, so that's going to be our lowest data information. And then we go to 4/8, and then 5/8, 6/8, and then 7/8. Okay, so now we're ready to plot. Let's see, the first one is a 5/8, and then we have a 4/8, 6/8, 4/8, 6/8, 3/8, 6/8, 4/8, 7/8, and 6/8. All right, so we should have 10 pieces of data. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. How many days does your friend swim 3/4 of a mile or more? Which one of these represents 3/4 if you reduced it down? That's right, 6/8 does. So this one is asking for 3/4 of a mile or more. So we're going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 days. A friend swims 3/4 of a mile or more. All right, and I want to do this next example with you also. And let me fit that on there. There we go. Okay. You record the amounts of time that you skateboard each day for 8 days. So you're going to go skateboarding 8 days and you're going to record a time each day. Your friend skateboards the same total amount of time, but for an equal number of hours each day. How long does your friend skateboard each day? All right, so here is what you're skateboarding. You did 1/4 of an hour. 2 times you did a half an hour, 1 time you did 3/4 of an hour, and this you did 4 times of a whole hour. So how do we find out how much you did? You're going to have to add all this time. So notice how they broke that down. We took the 1/4 of an hour, plus 2 times 2/4, or you could have put 2/4 plus 2/4. Okay, plus 3/4, plus 4 times the 1 hour. Okay, so let's, now the next step is to convert this and start filling in the blanks here. 1/4 plus, what is 2 times 2/4? We have 2 times 2 is 4, 1 times 4 is 4. What is 4 over 4? It equals 1 whole hour. And then we have the 3/4 here, and then we did our parentheses. 4 times 1 is 4. Now we're going to rearrange it. A commutative property means we can rearrange these add-ins and it doesn't matter. We're taking our fractions, putting them first. 1/4 plus 3/4 plus 1 plus 4. And 1 plus 4. What's 1/4 plus 3/4? That's 4/4, which equals 1. What's 1 plus 4? 5. So we have a total of 6 hours that this person has skated. Oh, let me scoot that up for you. Skateboarded. Now divide the number of hours by the number of days, because your friend also skated 6 hours for 8 days. So 6 divided by 8 is 3/4 of an hour each day. Okay. All right. So now I want you to do numbers 2 and 3 and number 4 on your own. Good luck.